Hi, I'm Leah Kim, and I have joined forces with Plenish, and we are bringing you a yoga sequence designed to aid any sort of detoxifying and cleansing process that you may be going through. It's totally fine for beginners and can take as much rest as you like. So let's get on with it. The most important thing that comes with this and any other yoga practice is breath. So I just want you to find a really comfortable seat. You can sit however you like and rest your hands as you're comfortable. Go ahead and close your eyes. And take a moment just to check in with how you're feeling, whatever might be going on in your mind. And start to hone your focus just to being right where you are. Maybe you can find a little bit of a lift through your spine. And start to pay attention to your breath, just going in through your nose and out through your nose. I would like for you to work with a type of breathing called Ujjayi breath. Sometimes it's called ocean sounding breath. And it's really great for any yoga practice, but particularly for detoxification, okay? Because it creates heat from the inside out, warming up from your core. And that's going to have almost a massaging, wringing out effect on your organs. So as you breathe in and out through your nose, see if you can breathe from the back of your throat. It requires a little bit of a constriction right at the back base of your throat. And you're trying to draw the breath over the vocal cords. I'm just going to exaggerate it for you so you can kind of hear what I'm talking about. And you're going to try to maintain that breath right through the end of the practice. If you're new to it, you might need to remind yourself here and there, and that's totally fine, but kind of keep your awareness on the breath. Bring your hands together right to the center of your chest. And let's set our intention for this practice for cleansing, healing, strengthening, and just harmonizing our body with breath and how we feel. And you'll take an inhale through your nose and exhale it out through the mouth. Release your hands, open your eyes, and come onto all fours. So you want to start just with everything nice and aligned from your wrists to your elbows and your shoulders, your knees right underneath your hips, and tuck your toes. Soften through your belly and arch up through your spine. Lift your chest, lift your gaze, and then round everything in, tucking your chin and your pelvis, looking right towards your navel. And you'll go through that a couple times, inhaling. This is cow pose, and exhaling into cat pose. And just starting to get movement through the spine and all the muscles that support the spine. And obviously your spine, torso, core, that whole area is housing the internal organs that are responsible for, among other things, but detoxifying. Take one more round. And you're going to sit back from here into child's pose. Draw your feet together. Maybe let the knees open about the width of your mat. And forehead down if you can. So if your forehead doesn't reach the ground, you can put a blanket there or just use a hand and rest. But do try to rest completely through the weight of your head. And this is the pose that you can come into at any time if you just want to take a little break. Tuck your toes underneath you, lift your knees, and press yourself into downward facing dog. In down dog, your hands are same as you had it in hands and knees, shoulder width distance apart. Your feet are going to be about hip width distance apart. And this is the first of our inversions. That's one of our focuses here in this practice, inverting. Just reversing the effect of gravity on your whole body, but particularly those organs. And one of the effects of that is just to get blood, fluid, energy recirculating, kind of in a different way than it's used to flowing. Take one more inhale, stretch back a little bit, lift your hips, and as you exhale, walk yourself to the top of your mat, coming into a forward fold. I would start with the feet hip-width apart, and you can keep it that way through the entire practice. When we're in a forward fold, I'll give you some other options as we move along. Take an inhale and lift yourself up into a halfway lift, making a flat back. As you exhale, fold, drop your head, and exhale completely. On your inhale, rise up all the way, going through that flat back, reach out and up, and exhale right back out the way you came, fold forward. Inhaling back into your halfway lift, lengthen your spine. Exhaling, step back into plank pose and hold plank. And holding plank, you can always put your knees down. If you don't need to, then for sure you can keep the knees lifted. I'll demonstrate both ways. Take an inhale at the top of your plank. Exhaling, you're going to lower down slow and steady all the way down to the floor. Release your feet so you're on your toenails, and you'll take a baby cobra. So the first of our back bends, which is another focus of this sequence. Take an inhale, maybe go a little bit deeper, a little higher. Exhaling, tuck your toes and lift back into downward facing dog. So that's one round of sun salutation A, and we're going to do that a few times, continuing to increase the internal heat in the body, just to get everything moving and flowing. So we'll start to go a little more rhythmically. Take an inhale, press back through your hips. As you exhale, walk, step, or maybe lightly hop, feet to hands. Inhaling, halfway lift. Now, if your fingertips don't touch the floor, you can bring them onto your shins. Exhaling, hinge, and fold in. Come all the way up to stand as you inhale, press down, reach up, maybe arch back a little bit. As you exhale, dive forward and let it go. Inhaling, halfway lift, get really long through your spine. Exhaling, step to plank, so either knees down. If you're feeling a little bit stronger, keep the knees up and lower Chaturanga Dandasana to the floor. Release your feet, come on up through Cobra, lift up. And exhaling, tuck your toes, press back, down dog. And just breathe, steady breath. So one of the benefits of flowing through any sort of dynamic movement, be it a dynamic style of yoga or running or any other form of exercise, is that it increases the lymphatic flow. It just aids in detoxifying the lymph system and collects and disposes of toxins through the body. So lots of good things happening. Take one more breath here, stretch back a little bit. Exhaling, feet to hands, however you want to get there. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, rise up all the way to stand, full stretch. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, step back to plank and lower slowly. Coming up through Cobra, arch up. See if you can get the shoulders to stay away from the ears so they drag down a little bit. A lot of space around your neck. As you exhale, tuck your toes, press back, down dog. And step your right foot forward. And sometimes your right foot may not reach all the way forward, so you can help scoot it forward. But you do want a nice long stride. Notice your knee right over the ankle. And put the back knee down on the floor. Release your back toes. Hands onto your right thigh. And start to lift the belly away from your thigh. Feel the back bend happening here as well. And keep lifting up. And anytime you bend back, make sure that you don't compress into the low back. You want to keep lift there, use your belly to support, and most importantly, make sure you can still breathe. Reach the arms all the way up, look up, bring the hands together, and then exhaling both hands down. Take your right hand onto your right thigh, And twist your chest open to the right side. So it's another focus that we're working with in this sequence is twists, and I'll get more into that as we move along. When you twist, feel like you're twisting not really from hips or legs, but twisting through the belly, the torso, again, being our focus. Take one more inhale. As you exhale, both hands down. Just step right back into down dog. And switch sides. Left foot will step forward, knees over the ankle, back knee down. Release the back toes. Hands onto your left thigh and start to arch back, spinal extension, back bending. Keeping everything the same in the lower half of your body, you can start to open up through your arms, reach up, maybe look up. Take one more breath, and as you exhale, bring both hands down. Left hand to your left thigh, so the arm is just there to aid the twist. Start to turn. If it feels all right, you can draw the belly in, and you'll probably find more space to twist. Take one more inhale, and as you exhale, release. Again, step back to down dog. Let's take a clearing breath. Inhale through your nose. Let it out through the mouth. Inhaling, stretch way back through your hips. Exhaling, feet to hands. Inhale, look up to lengthen. Exhale, fold forward. So now if it's all right for your low back, bring your feet all the way together. Bend your knees, sit low, and reach up, coming into chair pose. If you have any tightness through the shoulders, I'd recommend extending your arms with the hands a little bit wider than shoulders. You can also experiment with bringing the hands closer. Some of you maybe palms all the way together. Draw the belly in, arch up, take one more breath, and then as you exhale, slowly straighten the legs and fold. Halfway lift on the inhale, step to plank, lower down. Come up and through your cobra, big breath in. Exhaling back into down dog. Lift the right leg up just for an inhale, go for lots of extension. As you exhale, step the right foot forward, this time keeping the back knee lifted. Come up to a high lunge, crescent lunge, and hold. Same thing with the knee over the ankle. Make sure your back leg is really straight, strong. If it's a bit too much for you, you can always put the back knee down, no problem. Go for one more breath. As you exhale, hands down. Now you have the option, either step to down dog, child's pose, or go through this vinyasa. Really depends on how much energy you have, how you're feeling, how much yoga you've done before. You pick and choose. Left leg will rise up with an inhale. Exhaling, step forward. You might also just check you have about hip width distance between your feet. On an inhale, come on up into crescent lunge. Maybe about 3 breaths. Keep lifting yourself up and off of your waistline. So that idea of creating lots of space in the torso. Take one more breath. Exhaling, let it go. Step back, your choice, lowering, resting. Regardless, we'll meet back in down dog. So that's a variation in sun salutation B. And we're gonna flow through that a couple times. And I do want you to get a little bit warm, like sweat is nice, and even a little bit out of breath, but try to maintain your awareness on the breath and stay as disciplined as you can on breathing deeply. So it's good to kind of stimulate the cardiovascular system, but make sure you can still breathe. All right, so take an inhale, stretch back. Exhaling, look forward, then float. Halfway lift. Exhale and fold. Starting with that chair pose, bend your knees, sit low as you reach. 1 breath per movement now. Exhaling, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhaling through the vinyasa. Give yourself a really big inhale here in your cobra. Exhaling, stepping back, down dog. Right leg will rise up. Exhaling for your high lunge. Inhaling, one breath, reach high. Exhaling, lower slowly. Inhaling into the back bend. Exhaling, down dog. Big inhale, left leg. As you exhale, step through. Inhaling, reach high. Exhaling, chaturanga. Inhaling into the back bend and exhaling, down dog. Breathe. Really important place to catch your breath. Try to smooth it out. Inhale, push your arms a little bit straighter, a little stronger. Exhaling, float through your halfway lift, and exhale, fold. Bend your knees, chair pose, sit low and reach. As you exhale, back to your forward fold. Inhaling, lots of length. Exhaling, plank, lower. Inhale into cobra. And exhaling, down dog. We're gonna start to add a few standing poses. So lift the right leg up as you inhale and step through, high lunge. Inhaling, reach the arms. Exhaling, bring both hands down and slowly pull your front leg as straight as you can. So lift up into a halfway lift and keep this nice extension through your spine. Walk the left hand a little bit closer to your right foot and start to twist. Same as we did before in our twist. See if you can really start it from the belly. And you want to feel a bit of a squeeze, that is all right. And you might feel difficulty breathing because you've got pressure on one of your lungs, but just keep trying to look for a nice deep breath. If it's okay on the neck, you turn the head, look up to where you're reaching. If that strains your head, if that strains your neck, just look out to the side or even look down. This is revolved triangle. We'll take one more inhale, maybe deepening into the twist a little bit. And then as you exhale, release. Walk over to your left side. Your feet should be parallel. A tendency will be for the toes to be out, but keep them pointing straight forward. Inhale into a halfway lift, just so you can lengthen your spine. And exhale into a forward fold with your hands in between your feet on the floor. And don't worry if your hands don't really touch. You can always bend your knees, get the fingertips on the floor, work with your blocks. But over time, your body will open and you'll find more space. Breathe into it. Emphasize here, and in every forward fold, emphasize exhaling. And exhalings are really important for detoxification. As you know, exhales carry out carbon dioxide from your body, which is literally carrying out toxins. And even without knowing any of that stuff, you know exhales kind of make you feel more calm. So go for one more cycle of breath. Inhaling, slowly lift your head, look forward. And then hands to the top of your mat, step right back into down dog. And we'll just finish the standing sequence on the left side. Inhale the left leg up and back. Exhaling, step the left foot forward. Inhaling into a high crescent lunge. Exhaling, bring both hands down and slowly pull your left leg just towards straight. For some of us, that might mean straight. For others, maybe slightly bent. So just to your maximum point. You have the options of those blocks again. Going deeper, we'll be turning the right foot down. But if you're doing that, just drop your head, look at your right foot, and ground down through the outer edge of your right foot. And see if you can lift your inner ankle and your inner arch away from the floor. Some of you might even notice You can see the arch lifting away from the floor. And fold to your own degree. On an inhale, look forward, that halfway lift, just to elongate through your spine. Right hand walks a little bit closer to the left foot. You can take your left thumb into your left hip crease, moving the hip away from here, the stomach, and start to twist. Keeping the hips level and twisting through the belly. You can add the arm. It's a big pose here. You might find balance a bit challenged. Breath a bit challenged. But it's good to be challenged. Set your gaze on one point. One last inhale right here. And as you exhale, left hand down. Same wide-legged forward fold, but we'll face the other direction. Check that your feet are even, straight. Do a halfway lift. And this time, see if you can grab a hold of your legs. You might be up high, but just grab anywhere except for the knees. Maybe low, ankles for some of you. You might even be able to grab your feet. Hinge right from the hips and fold down. Really let go of the weight of your head. Last inversion from our standing poses. Just helping the body recirculate blood, fluid, and yogis like to think energy. One more full cycle of breath. And then slowly look up. If you feel a bit dizzy, just take your time. Walk the hands forward, and this time step back into plank pose. Lower all the way down to the floor and release. So we're going to start going into some of our back bends. First, starting with locust pose. So lying on your belly, reach your arms down your sides and start to roll your shoulder blades. Start to roll your shoulder heads away from the floor, lifting your chest, adding the arms. This might be enough for some of us, especially if you start to feel any sort of pressure in the low back. You can just hang here for now. But as you're feeling more comfortable, more confident, lifting the legs. Keep breathing. And on back bends, you want to emphasize inhaling. So really big inhales. See if you can get the inhales all the way into the lungs. See if you can get the inhales all the way to the base of your lungs. And direct the breath, if you can, right up into the chest. Take one more inhale, and as you exhale, release. So you can turn your head to one side or the other. And then we'll go one more time into locust pose. On an inhale, roll the shoulders, the chest, away from the mat, lift the arms, the legs, and breathe a little bit into your belly. Like let the belly press against the mat. Has a gentle, almost acupressure-like effect on the fronts of your organs. Go for one more inhale, lift everything a little higher. And as you exhale, let it go, opposite cheek on the mat, and relax the body. Slide your hands underneath your shoulders, and you can go back into your cobra, or I'll walk you through upward facing dog. So either cobra again, or coming into it like you're doing cobra, but you're gonna pick yourself up and off the floor, shoulders over your wrists, legs really strongly moving away from the mat. Lift the heart, lift the gaze, take a big inhale. As you exhale, roll over your feet. Last downward facing dog. One last inhale here, stretch way back through your hips. And as you exhale, bring the knees down to the mat. And we finally get to lie down. So lying on your back, bend your knees and plant your feet on the floor about hip width apart. Now you can't really see that, but Now maybe someone can check for you, or you just do your best. If I were there, I'd check for you, but I'm not. So setting yourself up for bridge pose, pushing down into your feet on an inhale, start to lift the hips and the low back, and as much of your back off the floor as you can. You can keep your hands apart, about shoulder width, or if it's all right, interlace your fingers underneath you. And here we are in another back bend. Okay, same as before, no compression in the low back. You actually want space there. Keep breathing, focusing on the inhales. And there's two really beautiful things that happen when you're in a back bend. You have the movement in your spine, right? The physiological benefit of stimulating into the kidneys and the adrenals. But also, it's an energetic heart opening. So really pay attention to how you feel after you practice your back bends. Okay, take an inhale, go a little higher if you have space. And then as you exhale, rolling yourself out the way you came in. Just pause and let the knees fold in towards each other. Close your eyes. Check in with how you feel. Sometimes you might feel like a little flutter, a little burst of energy, and that's what I'm talking about with that stimulation of the kidneys. You're going to do that one more time, or I'm going to walk you through an advanced version, which is wheel pose. Okay, so coming through bridge, either way. And if you have really tight shoulders, wheel may be a bit challenging. Don't worry if you can't get into it. Bridge is still really nice. If you're coming into wheel, extend your arms up and over your head. Bend your elbows, bringing your hands underneath your shoulders. Now, if your shoulders start to pinch here, this is where you skip it for now and go back into your bridge. Otherwise, both hands are underneath your shoulders and come to the crown of your head first. It's a good place to set your hand shoulder width distance. Make sure the wrists are straight. And slowly start to lift yourself up, moving your arms towards straight, keeping your legs really strong, feet are grounding down, and breathing as big as you can, really big inhales. One more big breath in, and exhale, go out the way you came in. Take your time and release. Close your eyes, observe, and come into happy baby. Knees in. If you can, grab your feet. If you can't reach, just grab your ankles. Open your knees wider than your torso. And the main thing here is that you want to try to keep the back flat. So the low back, tailbone, pressing down and forward, the upper back, your shoulder blades pressing down. And it might feel nice to drop right knee to the right side, left knee to the left side. Really great pose to neutralize the back after doing all those back bends, but you're also getting one final stretch through the legs and the hips. Nice. Hug the knees into your chest. Release the left leg. Keep the right knee bent in, and we'll do one final twist. Extend your right arm to the right side, look to your right hand, and slowly drop the knee towards the left. See if you can send the breath right down the spine into the low back. And make sure that it feels nice. This should feel really nice, just releasing the muscles along the back. You have that wringing out effect for those internal organs. Keep breathing into all of that. Take an inhale, and as you exhale, bring it back to center. Give the right knee a little squeeze just to neutralize your back, and we'll switch sides. Right leg extends. Hug the left knee in. Open the left arm to the left, and twist over to the right. Take a big inhale, and as you exhale, back to center. Hug both knees into your chest. So I would love to do one final inversion. It's the shoulder stand. If you have any neck issues, skip it, and you can do a really nice restorative pose, drawing the bottoms of your feet together, soles of your feet together, knees open, and taking your arms wherever they're comfortable. Okay, so this is also a passive back bend, so you're still getting lots of really nice benefits. But everything okay with the neck and you feel like playing a little bit, come on into shoulder stand. Sending the legs straight up to the ceiling. You can give yourself a little bit of momentum. You want your feet to go all the way up and over your head. Catch your low back and walk your elbows a little closer towards each other. Squeeze your legs together, and if you can, send the legs up as one. And actually, if this is the first time you're doing shoulder stand, watch the video first. Don't try to look while you're upside down in this way, just because there's a lot of weight on your little neck. You just want to keep the gaze straight up, neutral weight. And really, the weight is mostly on elbows, arms, and your shoulders. The back of your head as well. I think the longer you can spend some time upside down, the better. So if you have extra time, take it. Take one more inhale, and as you exhale, release the feet over your head, release your arms, engage the belly so that you don't come crashing down, but you slowly, with control, roll your way out of the pose. Slide your hands underneath your hips, let the legs go down, and once the heels touch, prop yourself up onto your elbows, lift your chest, and drop the head back. Fish pose. No weight on the head, really. 3 rounds of lion's breath here. It's where you breathe in through your nose, you open your mouth wide, you stick the tongue out, and you exhale right from really the gut. So 3 rounds. Inhale through the nose, open the mouth, tongue out, exhale. And again, inhale, exhale. Last time, inhale, let it out, let it go. Chin to chest, slowly release. And make yourself comfortable. So traditionally, the final pose is Shavasana, where you're just lying flat on your back with your legs extended, arms extended, everything relaxed. If this is not comfortable, pick a pose that's comfortable. Doesn't matter, maybe lying on your side or with your knees bent. Breathe naturally here so you can let go of that yoga breath we've been working with. Let your belly be soft. Check also your jaw, relaxed. All the muscles in your face, relaxed. And stay connected to being right where you are. Really common for the mind to pick up and to get busy with thoughts at this point. Just notice if that's happening and bring it back to something that's actually happening right now. You can feel the floor beneath you. You always have the movement of your breath that you can focus on. The more you practice, the more subtle things that you'll be able to focus on as well. You move a lot of energy around anytime you practice yoga. So you just want to give yourself time for all that to integrate. Let your next inhale be a little bit deeper again. Find a pause at the top of the breath. You're just gently holding the breath in. Exhale everything out until you're completely empty. You might be surprised at how long your exhale is. Keep it going all the way until everything is empty. Find a pause at the bottom of the breath. And then begin again. Inhale, fill the lungs. Pause. Exhale, empty everything out. And pause. Wiggle your fingers, wiggle your toes. Take a big stretch, arms up and overhead. Stretch through your feet, take a big inhale. And as you exhale, let it go, roll over onto your side. Just keep the eyes closed. And as you're ready, press yourself all the way up to sit. And sit as you like, whatever is comfortable for you. Make a really long spine. Notice how you feel. Bring your hands together, right to center. One last time, breathe in through your nose and clear it out through your mouth. Namaste.